Hey, chickadees. Welcome into today's video, an episode of Mojo Mysticism. Again, we're pulling from the Shaman's deck Oracle, or Shaman's Dream Oracle deck by Alberto Vioto and Colette Baron-Reed. And we've had 3 cards that already came out, so I'm going to show you what they are. The first card is card number 58. This is Vanishing Mirror. This is about ego sublimation. And the second card that came out is Watchers. This is card number 60. This is transpersonal. And the third card that came out is called Stranger. This is card 53. Stranger. This is about curiosity. So we're kind of making a departure from the creative theme that has been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And this is definitely a departure. This reading is asking us, and the guides are asking us, to take another look in the mirror and ask ourselves if we are in a contracted life, like we've maybe put boundaries around ourselves and maybe fenced ourselves in inadvertently, and where do we need to let that go? So where can we let the ego sublimation, just let the ego go, move into something new? And that is what the transpersonal is coming past our fear. So in this case, it's a fear of whatever else is out there, fear of the other, right? Because we've kept ourselves in a framework that has worked for us, at least for a time, but maybe it no longer serves you. So that's what we're asking to do, is take a look at those frameworks in our life that no longer serve us, and then get curious about those. Get super curious about those. Begin to kind of push on them a little bit and see if they need to leave, frankly, right? So what does that curiosity do? It looks like, what is the harm if I do something different, right? And then there's also the other side of that, which is the question I most often ask, which is, what's the cost of staying where I am, right? And how much of that can I see today? And how much of that can I not see? And really going deep into a meditation to understand as best we can. Because again, if we framed ourselves in and we've boxed ourselves in a little too much, we may not be able to see what's on the other side. But what we can do is get into meditation, ask our higher selves to show us what we might be missing. What's that cost of not dropping that framework, or the cost of not taking that step, the cost of not exploring and being curious about new things, the cost of not facing our fear and moving our feet. And that's really what we're being asked to do, is look beyond where we're at today and get really curious about it. So, and this is an interesting reading, and I can feel them kind of working on me as I'm saying this too. So, so I know there's more coming for me. So, yeah, I can feel it. But it's really is looking at where we may be a little too comfortable in our life. And I'm not talking about financial security or anything like that, because frankly, I think that's on the other side of all of this stuff that we're talking about. Because whenever we have fear, to me, fear is a signal that I am heading in the right direction. So if I am extremely uncomfortable, if I feel fear, if I go from a state of being scared to overwhelm, or scared to joy, or, if I see any of these things happening, they become patterns after a while. And so I get really curious about those. And I think that's what they're asking all of us to do, is get curious about those patterns. But first we have to know the patterns are happening. So the first thing, and part of what we're doing with the ego, or not the ego sublimation so much, but the Vanishing Mirror card, which is ego sublimation, is also a reminder to just take a look at our lives. Where are we maybe a little too comfortable, right? Meaning, and what I mean by that, because there's nothing wrong with comfort, but what I mean by that is, where have we maybe gotten so comfortable that we've relaxed into a pattern that may no longer be serving us? That's what they're asking us to look at. And I'll obviously be doing this with you because I think they're onto something for me. So, and I'm curious to see what it is. So, and then of course the watcher is just getting in that observer mode, and really, really looking at what's happening in our lives. This is not about anybody else but you, right? And me. Doing this individually, getting really curious about what's happening in our lives, and then letting that curiosity extend past where we may have kind of fenced ourselves in, and get curious about what's on the other side, right? So, I know they say the grass is greener on the other side, and it never is, right? But I think in this case, we're being told that the grass very well may be greener on the other side, because the grass that we're eating is no longer serving us. So that's it for tonight. A very quick reading. It's very poignant. I have a feeling this is not over yet. So I would not be surprised if tomorrow's reading kind of plays right into this as well. So very interesting. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for being part of our community. I love you very much, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Mwah.